Yes, I'm Joe. Hello, I'm Junkyard Rat. Welcome to episode 13 here in beautiful San Francisco. And today's guest, we got a returner out here, Mike Spiegelman. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well, Chris. It's always great to be on the Junkrat show.
Yeah. I was watching your game show appearance, but you didn't even plug my show. You plugged your own show.
They went ahead and allowed me to plug it. I wasn't supposed to bring up any brand names. I said, "Listen, you got to bring up Chris's show," and they said, "No names." So,
What's the name of the What's the name of the game show you were on?
oh yeah, I was on Game Show Network's new show called People Puzzler with Leah Remini.
How is Aaliyah anyway?
Are you a fan?
Well, yeah, I know who she is. I mean, I follow the whole Scientology thing, you know.
Yeah, she was really good. She's a really good host. She did talk to us, I and she was really good. I was People Puzzler is based on People magazine, the crossword puzzle in the back of the book, and the questions you fill out a crossword grid, and the clues are about the equivalent in the magazine. They're pretty easy, which is kind of the point, and it's about pop culture. So I went in as a contestant. I was one of three people trying to go for a grand prize, and we had a crossword puzzle grid with clues on it, and the object is to get as many on the board.
I was surprised you did very well. I mean, I didn't, at first, I didn't think you were going to make it into the final. I thought maybe the two, but like you just took it on. I was like impressed, and then I was like, I can't believe you lost. You lost the
Well,
10
yeah. So
grand.
I mean, we might as well cut to the chase. There's three rounds, and then the person that gets to the final round out of the three contestants tries to get a $10,000 prize, and if you don't, you get 1,000. So I got made it to the final round, and I didn't make the 10,000. I missed two questions, but I they said, "What do you want the money for?" And I said, "A TV set." So $1,000 is plenty for a TV set. I'm okay. So I'm a winner.
Well, you almost got it right. You were almost there.
It's funny. There was two questions I missed. One was about Kevin Hart and what credit card he advertises, and
Oh,
I had no
Chase, isn't
idea
it? Chase?
until then. Chase, yeah. Well, that's
Chase.
the thing.
Yeah.
Well, all my podcasts the next day, all my news programs, they were all sponsored by Chase with Kevin Hart. So
Yeah.
had I heard it a day earlier, I would have got that clue.
And the other one was about Edward James Olmos, wasn't it? Olmos?
Oh, so yeah, that's a little embarrassing. That wasn't the final round. The other question I missed was clownfish regarding Finding Nemo.
Oh,
There was
yeah.
There was a category that had Edward James almost, and I can't wrap myself around three names sometimes. So if you watch me, visually see the face of actor Edward James almost staring at me,
Well,
and I couldn't shake that, and I couldn't figure out what his last name was, so I screwed that up.
he was the speaker at my college graduation at Fresno State. And I didn't actually graduate, but I went to the
Did you
graduation.
sell weed?
Huh? No, he came in. He was pretty chill. He was like waving at everybody, but I thought this is like the greatest thing. I mean, and then years later, you miss that. I mean, how can you miss that? I mean, I think the question was the Miami Vice.
It was, yeah, which of course I've seen almost in Miami Vice. He was the captain, I should have got that.
But
It
you
was
did very
interesting. I really
well.
liked the categories they had, and it was fun for me to play them. My brother Adam, he made two good points. One, he says you should always just go for the category you dead know, even regardless of the entertainment value of picking a different category. But one thing he said to me that does stick, he said, "You must feel pretty empty because you won, but you didn't win the grand prize."
Yeah. You didn't even post about it on Facebook. I thought maybe you were like the. How long ago was it when you filmed it to when it
Yeah.
aired?
Well, I'm here in Los Angeles, and I was able to apply to be a contestant, and they followed up, and it was shot back in July. of last year. So I had
Yeah.
spoken to them in March and gone through a really nice phone conversation, a little preview of the game, played with them. I sent them various photos of myself in various clothes, and they said, "Oh, we like all the clothes." And I got in. So it's over in Studio City and the CV at CBS. They have this studio lot. It's fun being in the studios. I was on Gilligan Island Street and like I love Beverly Hills Billy Avenue. Like all the roads in the studio are named after old
What
CBS
studio
shows.
were you in? Which one?
Yeah, it was Universal Studios.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I used to sneak into Universal Studios.
no, not Universal. Excuse me. I meant to say
Was it Sony or?
no, Studio City. Studio City is what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
it is Sony.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
used to sneak into Universal Studios.
Can I mention something?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Um, I feel the need to mention that the TV thing, we it took so long we ended up replacing the TV anyway.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing on the replaced TV right now.
I'm being informed by my household that it's by the time I haven't received the money yet. I have to still wait 2 months after the air date. So since then, we've gone and got a better TV.
But you're not gonna get a grand. You're getting like 500 because of taxes.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, money is money.
How big is your new TV? How big is it?
How big is our new TV?
Uh, I don't like.
Yeah, no, I'm staring at it while I talk to you,
Is it
Chris.
like 50 inches or
No, it's like it's about maybe 30ish. But
30, 30 inches?
it's modest. It's small enough to fit on my
You
table,
need a
but
bigger
it's
TV, damn it. What are you gonna
no, it's
do?
4K. It's hey man, listen, I'm a
No
slow
wonder you
adapter.
lost. You just didn't want it bad enough, did you?
This
No
TV is
wonder
too
you
big.
lost. You look
Well, we
nervous too. I can't. You did. I was surprised you did really well, but you did look kind of nervous. I felt kind of. I was kind of like, but it was. I was surprised. Like I really am amazed because, first of all, I probably don't know what it is, but you're looking at a bunch of screens in the studio. It's
yeah.
it
Well,
is probably nerve
what
wracking, isn't it? Or
what you see is pretty much what they have. They had a hangar, a studio with the set. They're very professional there, and I had a really good experience. Just being, talent and going on the show. They had everything. I went to the studio. I took a COVID test. When that cleared, was able to go in the studio. It was COVID compliant all the way through. I wore masks in between. The staff met up with us and kind of prepped everybody and got people going. One thing I did was a rookie mistake was that they agreed on all the clothing. I only brought one pair of clothing, and
oh yeah.
they were really they were really professional. They steam pressed it, and I was good to go. But that's not how you do things. You should bring optional clothing so they can see what fits you best.
Is it
So
your first game show, or have you been on
yes.
others?
No, I'm getting offers. After it aired, I got a couple shows asking me if I want to be a contestant.
Are you
One,
gonna
I
do
think
them?
I'm too. What's that?
Are you gonna do them or?
Yeah, but one of them is like Brainiacs only. Brainiacs need only to apply. I don't think I'm smart enough to do this trivia game, but I'm gonna apply. What the hell, you know?
You need to do it all, damn it. And
Well, how many times?
you gotta plug my show. At least wear my T-shirt with my name on it. You gotta
Okay, well, you
plug.
mean like this? I'm wearing your shirt right now. It says the Ed Studios.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Are you
Uh,
are you still with the other station or are you
Mutiny
switching?
Radio. Yeah, I still have my show. I've been doing that show since 2016.
I gotta watch your show again. I haven't.
It's called LWAFLMOYT. Let's watch a full length movie on YouTube, and it's on YouTube, so you can subscribe to it. Every week, a 2-hour episode will appear. We will show you the movie on the video. But basically, we watch a full length movie on YouTube, and then you would watch the movie and listen to the podcast at the same time. But you can subscribe on YouTube.
I saw the new Dungeons and Dragons movie. I think you'll be
Was
doing an episode in a couple of years for it.
Oh no, that looks entertaining. Did you see John Wick 4?
I haven't seen John Wick 4, no.
It's good. I saw it this weekend. I really liked it.
John Wick 4 is for the intelligent people. Dungeons and Dragons is for the losers like me. And you?
No, I felt like I was a Harry Potter fan going to Harry Potter 6. I mean, if you didn't watch the last movies, you had no idea or have nothing invested in what's going on.
Why I
So,
used to play Dungeons and Dragons, but I didn't remember it was that fun, you know. But it took a
oh,
long time to play, you know.
I was the vice president of my high school's strategic strategy club, which was a D&D group. So I was the treasurer.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
haven't even seen the movie yet. I mean, was
I
that the
haven't seen
first
the one.
Dungeons and Dragons movie, or was there
No, there was
another
one in
one
two.
like huh?
Yeah, there was one in 2000 with man with the Wayne brother. It was Marlon.
And they made a Mario movie years ago too with Leguizamo.
Yeah, right. People don't like the new movie. I heard that old one is better.
I don't know. I never really thought that Mario was Italian, so I never bought
What
into that.
what ethnicity do you think he was?
Well, of course he's Mexican, right?
Because of the mustache and the way
Because he's a plumber, damn it. He's a
yeah,
plumber. He's a plumber on mushrooms. Of course he's Mexican.
he's a plumber on mushrooms, so that makes him
Yeah,
Mexican.
man, I don't know. I never, I never played like, I'm old. I'm like 50 years old. Like, I missed out on the Mario thing
Yeah, I hear
like
you.
by a couple of years.
But like the movie has all the Marios. So you have jumping Mario, you have kart racing Mario, you have tennis playing Mario, I guess. But all the ones are incorporated. What am I missing? Donkey Kong shows up.
I like pickleball playing Mario. I don't know
I don't know if
what
I'm gonna.
I
I think
could
it's a
have.
big.
Huh?
I think it's a sellout, man. I think Mario sold out. I don't really want him to be that popular.
Look, I mean, it's like basically. Do they even make games anymore? They do make Mario games,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
But it's
Yeah.
like, what else do they got to do with Mario? Just put out movies, right?
No, they'll keep doing games. It's a flagship game for them. So if they have hardware to sell, they will have a new Mario to sell it with it.
I haven't seen Creed either right now. Like the new Creed. I haven't seen the new
Oh,
Creed.
I don't know. I don't like Sylvester Stallone, and I know he's not in the third one, third Creed, but I will probably see
You
it.
don't like Sylvester Stallone?
I think all his movies are ripoffs, Chris. Like he promises the world, and when you go to the movies, it's the same old thing. I don't really. I went to see Rocky 6, and then 10 minutes into it, I'm like, this is just Rocky 1 through 5 again. I got suckered into another Rocky movie. So, and then Creed, I understand he doesn't have creative force in that the reason why these Creed movies are going is because of other people. But, he shows up in them, and I'm just like, enough. I don't want to see another Sylvester Stallone movie. I saw Samaritan is good. Do you see that one on Amazon?
Which one? I don't have Amazon yet. I'm
All right.
cheap.
Well, yeah, I don't think they'll have it at the library either.
I have
I do.
Netflix though. I want to get
Samaritan.
Amazon. They got a Reggie Jackson documentary on Amazon.
Oh, is it Mr. October or October Surprise or
I
something?
think so. Do
Yeah,
you know why he's called Mr. October?
because he's the king of baseball, and baseball starts in October. Am I wrong? I can't figure
Well,
it
no,
out.
he's called Mr. October because he hit like 3 home runs in one game to win the World Series.
Oh, all right.
But
Well,
I'm an
October.
Angels fan. He never won shit with us, you know. He
Oh,
never he never won the World Series with us. I'm
I'm from the
upset.
tri-state
I'm
area,
still
so
upset over Reggie Jackson. I'll never get over 1986. I'm sorry. 86 was a bad year.
do you like his? So you don't eat his? Did you ever eat his candy bar?
Yeah, his candy bar is shit, you know. I No, actually he's reselling them. He put it out again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He put it
I'm
out
trying to
again,
remember.
so
It
I
was
gotta get it. I went to the home opener that the Angels played Oakland in the home opener this year, and the Angels actually lost 2-1.
okay.
So it broke my heart. And one thing I hate being around happy A's fans. So the minute they tied the game at 1, I went headed for Bart. I'm like, this is not good. Uh, A's fans, they know that they suck because they're A's fans, right?
Right.
But give them a little hope of joy, and they will just turn around and talk shit to you. We couldn't let that happen. And then
Who's the?
the next game, the Angels won 13-1, and then they won 6-0. I went to the wrong game. I went to the wrong game.
No, you went to a crucial game that motivated them.
I went to opening day, and it's probably the biggest sell. It's not even a sellout. They don't even sell out anymore. You know.
Now, were you the only one in the stadium wearing a mask?
What makes you think I was wearing a mask? Of course, I wasn't wearing a mask.
What was the percentage of the stadium?
Wearing a mask?
Yeah.
I don't think how are we supposed to drink beers wearing masks. You know,
Well, yeah,
popcorn.
and you are outside. Yeah, it's a
I
straw.
think
No,
that
you
the peanut allergy people wear masks. So
right because of the smell of peanuts in the
there
air.
is like a peanut allergy section. It was weird. There's a, you know, there's
Well, if
no
you can
men
get,
there because we got peanuts, right? We
well,
don't
no,
got.
not those peanuts.
I can't believe there's like a peanut allergy section. Like if I
I
would, I wouldn't
that's
go to a game if I was allergic to peanuts.
what you would want to go, right?
No, baseball is hella boring. You know, I was
Oh,
there.
right. So
I was there because it was opening day. The Angels were in town. Otani had just won the World Baseball Classic. I expected to be like a party, but you know, nothing happens good in a stadium. You know, there's no
yeah, well,
party.
it's the same stadium or is a new one? I keep losing track.
There is no there is no new stadium.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
The stadium is older than me. I think it might be older than you. How old are you?
Me,
I'm
I'm in
like,
my 50s too.
yeah, yeah. I think maybe the stadium might be a little younger than you, just by a couple of years. I think it opened in '68 or something. You
Oh, well,
know.
yeah, hey, so we're the same age.
Yeah. Are you excited? Are you like now you got other game shows asking for you?
Well, I mean, it was fun. I was grateful that I won and that, they did my hair pretty well. I don't know if you noticed, they parted my hair.
I should have
So,
kept the DVR. I don't know why I erased that.
oh, you should, man.
You
I don't
know,
have many. I don't have my own
I
copy. And my
I
friend
would
who was
watch
going
it
to take,
over and over just to see you lose. Like,
well, just to see me screw
oh!
up on Edward Almost. Yeah, so watch me lose.
Hey,
I was
can
fine.
I borrow $1,000? Is that a problem or no?
No, man, no problem. Give me 60 more days. I'll send it to you.
That's
I got to receive it.
so. Are you gonna be on Jeopardy? Like Jeopardy, you're not Jeopardy smart, are you? I
No,
think
oh, no, no, no,
I
no,
tried
no.
out for Jeopardy, but I don't think I even made like nothing. I don't know.
I'm easy crossword puzzles smart.
Yeah, not me. I don't do crossword puzzles because I used to play Words with Friends with
Yeah.
Alyssa Westerland, and she used to kick my ass, and
Hey,
I
I
didn't
know you have friends.
understand.
You don't have to tell me the friend's name. I know you have friends. I
I
believe you.
like, but she used to kick my, and I was embarrassed. But you know, I'm a foreigner. Like, I came here at 7 years old. I
Right. Yeah.
learned
Yeah.
English late, and that was my excuse. I missed out on 7 years on learning English words.
True.
But
Well, I get
I was
crosswords and
surprised,
that
huh?
game.
Huh?
It's a good way to learn. Good way to practice. One thing I did and uh, related to Jeopardy is that there's on YouTube a supercut of people puzzler contestants who phrase their answer in the form of a question,
Uh,
and I did that. I said, "What is whatever?" And she said, "This isn't Jeopardy, Mike."
what is
And
almost?
I didn't get almost. I told you
I
it was the
didn't get almost.
listen. If it wasn't for that other contestant not doing as well, I would have been dead. So God bless how these things
And
work.
Kevin Hart, like I've seen so many of those Chase commercials. Like they're so
I
annoying.
know. I didn't see it till the next day. And the
Ah,
thing was, like, they said, "Who's Kevin Hart's co-host in Ride Along?" I immediately thought of Olivia Munn,
but
and that wasn't the answer. So I couldn't think of the
was it
guy
Ice
next to him.
Cube or was it Ice Cube?
It was Ice Cube. I realized that after thoughts of Olivia Munn disappeared from my head.
Olivia Munn.
Yeah,
Was she in Ride Along?
yeah. That's the only thing I remembered.
But is it like pressure? Did you feel a lot of pressure? Like, oh, I gotta win the 10 grand, you know?
Oh yeah, of course. But honestly, like when I did the competition, I realized I was good at it, but not good enough. So I knew that, ideally I would be happy if I made it to the final round, and I did. So, I'll pat myself in the back for getting that far. But yeah, it's a disappointment, but life goes on. and it's a TV show ultimately.
But you didn't
It's
even post about it. You didn't post about it. I thought you were heartbroken. Like, I don't know.
no, you know what it was? It was like, first off, I wasn't allowed to reveal the results until after it aired.
But you didn't
So,
even post about it after it aired. Like,
well, Chris, a friend of mine sent me like footage shot from a phone, and I was gonna post it, but it wouldn't post the sound, and I was like, I'm not gonna waste too much time on it. And then I had pictures of my hair because they parted it, and I was really amazed by it. So I took post screenings. So I
you
was going.
almost posted it, right? You almost posted it.
I almost, yeah, I was Edward James almost posted it, but I just I couldn't get the sound on the clip, and I said screw it, so I didn't do a post one. And
Are you,
besides, you know what? People know, like you post on Facebook only so people will know, and so people already knew. And I had a lot of friends that I didn't really haven't talked to in a while, and they watched it. So I achieved my goal, which was to announce that I was being on the air, make sure people can be aware of it, and not reveal the results. So it will be fun, and I don't I could keep my money.
you need
Right?
to come back though because I have no clue what Vahe's doing with that show.
Wait,
You
what are you talking about?
you got to come back and help Vahe run that show because I don't know what's going on with that show.
Uh, we're talking about our friend Vahe's clusterfuck show online.
No, no, the Friday one, like he
Oh,
he canceled it or it was canceled, but it was never canceled. It was like,
well, all right. So we're talking. I'm always happy to talk shop with you. We have a mutual friend, Vahe Hove, who has a great show on Fridays in San Francisco at the Variety Theater on Market, and he also runs the only successful Zoom show I'm aware of, and he one time said the Zoom show is over. He posted it on Facebook, and he got 100 replies, and then it happened that Sunday, and people started replying like, you're just bullshitting with us. Then he posts on Facebook, I see my Friday live show is no longer, and I don't believe it until I see it.
well, you know what? I think he didn't come out with the truth, but that was the day that Reese Witherspoon announced her divorce. And if you look at the message he put out on Instagram and Facebook, it's almost the exact one that she put out about her divorce. So
uh,
I don't think people I think he was just messing with people, but at the end is like was the show canceled or he was I don't know. At the end like I don't know, it's confusing to me. Vahe's
yeah.
like the boy who cried wolf.
The last time I did his Zoom show, I ate it. I had a bad. You know how when you have a bad set, you do all your jokes, you do everything, and it's going wrong. And I was going wrong, and so I basically begged to do it again after that. But in the live show on Friday, there's a comedian that he used to work with a little bit more intently, who's a big loudmouth. I don't know if you know him, but we won't mention his name. He had a cocaine bear joke set up, and I think he would have had a cocaine bear joke anyway.
That's
But
Mean Dave, right? It's Mean Dave.
no, no, no. But he followed me after I ate it, and he's like, "Oh, no jokes happening." And I said, "Oh, are you talking about me? I was the last comic." He's like, "Oh no, I wasn't around when you performed." So
I was so happy to follow people in open mics after they bombed.
uh-huh.
That was my favorite. After somebody bombed, I was in there. But when they were killing it, I was like, I just didn't want to follow that because, I'm like a terrible open mic comedian. I don't know why. But yeah, it's like, I've never done the contest in the clusterfuck. He never asked me. I've done that show before, but I don't do well in Zoom shows, because
Yeah.
like it's weird just sitting there like staring at a screen. I don't even pay attention to the other comedians. I have the volume off until it's my turn.
Well, that's fair enough. I've done enough Zoom shows to know that I think it's a viable form of entertainment, and I think it'll get dismissed, especially because no one wants to think about COVID. But I think it's not going to go away, and that Vahe has the right idea. His show is more of a Sunday night hangout. You had a Sunday night, you could just go online and watch the show, and you could pay for it via tips if you want to. So I think what he created is very successful. Like sorry, I'm watching poor Sonic.
I keep falling off this one bit.
Well, poor Sonic. We're playing Sonic the Hedgehog. We
That's
Don't be
another
yours
one
again.
bad movie, man. The Sonic movies.
I couldn't watch the second one. The first one's okay,
They're
it's a little
terrible. But I never. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I never played Sonic Hedgehog, so I never
Oh,
play. I never. Once the Atari went out of business, I never like. I used to play like Tecmo Bowl, but that was it. So,
yeah.
but like the Sonic movies are just plain dumb. I don't know. They're just plain dumb.
Well,
I'm sorry.
there was a Sonic game, like Sega was in San Francisco, and when the Dreamcast came out, they got a bunch of Japanese developers to work in the Bay Area, and they created the first world is in San Francisco. They created a San Francisco world in one of their games. And in the movie, there's a lot of scenes in Transamerica building and lots of San Francisco stuff.
Yeah, they were the Transamerica building. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's canon. It was in the video game.
The second movie was weird because I don't know what they were trying to do. I think they
I
came
didn't,
up with
I,
new
I really,
character.
really, really tried. I tried to watch maybe 10 minutes into it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm going to pass.
You got to go to the theaters. Like you can't run. You can't run away in a theater.
That's right.
I
I
Well,
could try.
you can try.
Yeah, like I saw a documentary on Sega. Like they were
Oh,
big,
really?
but they went down. Like they really messed up at the end.
Yeah,
But
they made a bunch of wrong choices.
I think there was a fight between the Americans and the Japanese. And
Well,
the Japanese didn't realize we kicked their ass one time already. Like, why aren't they listening to us?
oh, you mean with video games? They should have followed with
No,
World
I'm
War
talking
II?
about Pearl Harbor, son. I'm talking. No, but it was weird. Yeah, like there was a fight between the corporate people, but now all these video game companies are just they're making movies now and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, they're talking about DC plans to have everything connected. So the comics, movies, and video games are all linear. So they'll release an Aquaman, and then they'll release an Aquaman video game.
The Aquaman I really hate. Like I'm old school. Like I want the blue-eyed blonde Aquaman. I'm sorry,
Well, there's
but
Amber Heard,
huh?
Amber Heard. She's in there. She's blonde. She's blue eyed.
I don't know. And like the Marvel movies are just getting shitty. They're getting terrible. And you
Well,
know
have you
what
seen the?
upsets me about Marvel? These
Yeah.
people they come out with a movie every during my birthday week. Every year, my birthday's on May 7th. They're bringing out another movie during my. Why are they ruining my birthday by coming out with shitty movies, man?
What Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah,
3
they're
is coming
coming out
out?
with the new Guardians on my birthday week.
Yeah, I saw the trailer at the John Wick showing, and I am not impressed, man. I'm sorry. I like the idea of what they're doing, and I like comic books and personally.
They
So
come
if
out
they
with a
want to spend
lot of
money,
movies, man. Thank God I don't got Disney Plus. I don't have to
well,
suffer
you
through
need
all
Disney
that
Plus
junk.
to catch up. You can't
Huh?
you can't that Doctor Strange movie. Had I not seen WandaVision on Disney Plus, I would no idea what was going on.
Doctor Strange was good, but I always thought the weird thing was like, why didn't Doctor Strange just knock up Wanda? Wanda was running around talking about, I want a baby, I want some kids. There's a Wanda with kids in another time zone or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
right.
I'm
Different time
like,
zone.
hey, we can do this. Doctor Strange was single, right? Doctor
So you,
Strange was single. I'm like, just knock up Wanda, damn it. She wants some kids.
that's a great idea, right? She's trying to destroy universes to get into a universe where she has children. She and Doctor Strange could have just got it on.
She wanted to go to that universe because she the Wanda in that universe had children.
Yep.
I was like, why don't you just get knocked up? There's nothing wrong with you. Maybe am I the only one that thought like why not just
Yes.
she was good looking, why not just knock her up, dude? Like
I think
I
you
didn't
were the
see
only one.
look, I never saw the TV series Wanda, so maybe I missed out on a whole
Yeah.
relationship there. But I was like, come on, just Get knocked up, damn it. Get knocked
Well,
up.
at the end of the TV series, it's like in the beginning of the movie, he goes sees her after these. She has like a 6 episode shenanigan adventure, and then when that's done, she retreats to the Himalayas or what have you, and Strange shows up. But what's interesting in that movie, and I love that movie. I mean, you got Sam Raimi and Evil Dead creatures, and like dead people. I love it.
And then
But
Thor, they kill off, what's her name in Thor? I mean, that's just bunk, you know?
ooh, Tessa.
They killed off the scientist. Remember the love
Oh
interest?
right, yeah, but that's canon though. That's canon. She
That, I'm like, why are you killing the love interest? Are you,
but they're not. First off, she wasn't even in the last movie. Second off, she goes to Valhalla with
no,
the
no,
other dead
no.
guy.
What's her name was in the last movie? They had,
Yeah, I know, but she wasn't in the third. She wasn't in Ragnarok or whatever.
no, she was in the last movie. They killed her off.
But yeah, she
Natalie
was always.
Portman? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's depressing that they kind of use like cancer as an entertainment tool, but that's how the movie goes. She had cancer and she became Thor,
He
and then
could have saved her, but then he decided that some girl needed the mom instead. I was like, what kind of selfish? Ah, you're Thor, damn it. Like, how are we going to kill off the love interest? That,
do you think Thor? I don't think Thor
you,
behaved the way Thor usually behaves in all the other movies. Like the last Thor movie, he was completely arrogant and like
I hate to say
always.
that Marvel needs female writers, so they stop
Yeah,
killing off the love interest. You know what I mean? They
no, I
need
agree with
they
you.
need a
What
female CEO to come in there and go like, why are we killing off all the women? Damn it! Why
I
can't we
don't know if
get pregnant? Why can't we get
I,
pregnant?
Chris, I don't know if you saw She-Hulk, but She-Hulk's pretty decent.
Oh no, I never saw She-Hulk. Anything on Disney Plus, I haven't
Yeah,
seen.
right. Done. Yeah, I enjoyed that show, and I thought one of the things I liked about it was that it seemed like there was female writers in the room. It felt like there was a different perspective than the usual stuff I watched from them. So
It was confusing. And like Doctor Strange, he was in love with that one woman,
yeah,
and
that
she's
one
like
woman.
married to another guy. And I'm like, how many universes is it that Doctor Strange is not getting laid in? You know,
It was
like
the one. It
just
was it
one.
was Earth. You know, another thing I what was I was gonna say? Shit.
There's no love in this thing. Like, what about love? Damn it! What about love?
I don't know. I'm at a loss. I was gonna say something about really important about the Marvel movies, and then I just got overwhelmed. I can't think of it. The scope of their films. Yeah, the Guardians trailer, they're like, this time they're dead serious. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the reason, like, a lot of people will say, like, oh, they made decisions and that's the reason why their movies aren't doing well. Their movies aren't doing well. Ant-Man 3 is the most heteronormal white male cis movie you could ever have, and that movie bombed.
That's a San Francisco movie, isn't it? Like that's a
Yeah,
Barry.
right.
I like the other one too that was in the Bay Area,
Of Black Panther.
the Black Panther, and the one that was it the Punisher? It wasn't the Punisher. What's the name of the? It came out last year. I forgot the name of it, but
It was a Marvel movie?
yeah, it was a Marvel movie. It was like the guy was in jail in San Quentin, or I forgot the
Oh, right. Yeah,
what was
yeah.
the name of that movie. Damn it! I
The
haven't seen
Internal.
the new Ant
No.
Man. I got lazy. I have the AMC Movie Pass, but I haven't
No, yeah.
gone.
Again, like I went to see John Wick 4 at AMC and they had the movie pass. It might be something for I might do with my kid, like because we live near walking distance to the movie house. So if there's a special on Tuesdays, we could just go.
Well, if you get the AMC Movie Pass, you can see 3 movies a week, including 3D. They even give you free popcorn on your birthday. So,
Right. And the
mm,
little note saying, don't joke. Joking, not joking.
yeah. Now they're trying to charge you depending where you sit. They're like, they want to,
Yeah.
AMC is thinking about like, but where are the best seats in the movie theater? Where do you think is the most expensive part?
Well, it would probably be like in the middle, in the prime area. I've been to movie houses where they sell based on location before,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a decade ago. Yeah, they would be literally the cheap seats.
I hate the ones that serve dinner, like the Mission
Yeah,
Ale House or whatever.
I
I
agree
hate
with you. It's
they
it's
they
really
come and
awkward.
bother you in the middle of the movie, like, "What do you like something?" And he like, "No." I brought
Well,
my
they have.
own drink, and the guy's like, "No, you can't bring your own drink here, son."
Don't they have flags or something? I should mention, Chris. I should wrap up in a couple of minutes. Because I have to. I don't know. Yeah, I got life to
You
deal with.
got
But
things to do, man. I'm okay with it. You know, I'm
uh,
okay. I can find somebody else to talk Wanda. Why can't we knock up Wanda? Damn it! Why can't we knock up Wanda?
you're the only person who has that theory, and I've heard a lot of stupid theories before. But
Well, it's because I go to the Marvel movies because I got the NC movie pass. I don't watch the TV shows. I don't know, but to me it felt kind of strange. Like she wanted kids, right? What do women do when they want kids?
I don't know. Tell me.
I don't know. Do they call her stork? I mean,
Yeah, they called it stork.
they want kids, they get knocked up, right? It's not how it works.
No, but she already had those kids. You had to watch the TV show. The TV show had the kids in it.
No, what am I? The whole. Can you explain to me the whole universe thing? How many universes are we talking about here?
Multi.
Like, so there's Chris's and other universes that actually have stand-up careers somewhere. I'm like the only loser who hasn't made it yet in some
Yeah,
universe.
right. You're the wrong Chris.
I'm the wrong Chris. There's
I don't know. I'm sure the Chris that's successful in comedy in that universe is like, I'm not happy.
like the Spider Verse. The Spider Verse is good. I like the Spider Verse.
I do too. Yeah, that's fun. And the actual comic book Spider-Man, they did have a big Spider-Verse story where every world has a Spider-Man, and that there's these evil family that go hunt Spider-Man in multi-universe and suck up their life force. So all the Spider-Men of every universe team
Yeah.
up to defeat the family, and it's a really good story. I liked it. Nothing really to do with the movie, but that movie was the first to say there's a multiverse. And then the live action movies are like, oh yeah, there's a multiverse. Here's the other guys from these movies. I hated Spider-Man 3, dude. I hated it.
I just hope that there's Chris's in other worlds that are successful, you know? I just don't understand why I gotta be the Chris that's not successful.
Well, that's like Doctor Strange. He's the one that didn't get the girl.
Now, do you think the multiverse are really like I think there are multiverses out there, but I think they're more experimental. Like I don't think they have evolved. I think it's almost like you can buy your own little kit and make
Yeah.
your own little world type thing. Or governments like I could see the US government owning like another universe somewhere else just to experiment things, you know?
I
They'll
don't know.
have
So like,
one universe with no gun violence, a
yeah,
peaceful place
or no superheroes.
where they can go escape, you know. If they decide they want to leave America, they can go to another universe.
Yeah, they could go to Russiaverse. If you don't like Americaverse, go to Russiaverse.
Hey, yeah, they're coming out with a Tetris movie. Did you see that on Apple TV?
I know. I wish I had Apple TV. I want to see that movie.
Well, actually, you know, in Xfinity, they're gonna let you watch it for free in May or something. You
Oh,
don't have
cool.
Xfinity where you live? That's
No,
a
I have Roku.
area, huh?
I use the Roku.
Oh yeah, well, no, they're coming out like Tetris is like a Russian video game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just played it for lunch. I play it every day.
yeah,
Tetris.
and they made a documentary about how they had to go to Russia to find the owner to actually get the rights to the game. You know, what did you
Yeah,
think?
he worked for. I want to see the movie before I speak about what I know of him, but I know that like he didn't really get paid much.
Well, no, he's Russian. He's Russian. We
Yeah, but
just
he
gave
should
him a
get
box
paid
of
for his shit.
vodka. He was happy. He was happy. I don't know. It seems like Tetris should make a lot of money, but it's like, did you see the movie that won all the Oscars?
Which one? Oh, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Have you seen that, or
Yeah, I did. I liked it.
did you like? I always thought that movie was for people who don't do drugs. You know,
I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world, but it's a pretty solid movie.
it looked complicated to me. You know.
Yeah, they dumb it down for me, which is nice. Like they definitely like held my hand on that movie. So it's
They gotta
recommendable. And
tie me down to watch it. Tie me down. They gotta
time,
tie me down and force me to watch it. Like because in 10 minutes in, I was like, I don't want to see this thing, you know.
Give it a second chance. It has enough wacky fantasy that complements the reality of what's going on. It's grounded in its as flight of fancy. It's a good movie. Everyone won their Oscars from it.
Do you go to Disneyland or?
I haven't gone to Disneyland. I haven't gone to Universal Studios. Speaking of Mario, they have the
Oh
Mario
yeah, they
World
got
there.
Mario World. Yeah, the Star Wars thing isn't that big in Disneyland. I expected it to be bigger.
Oh, in Disneyland?
Yeah, I expected it to have like a bunch of rides. There's
Yeah.
no,
What about? I know there's a hotel that's supposed to be a spaceship.
I don't know. I didn't stay in the Star Wars. I
Gotcha.
didn't, but it's like, Disney hasn't changed like in 100 years. Like, it's the same shitty rides. I hate
Yeah.
to say this, but I'm all about Knott's Berry Farm. I like
Oh,
roller coasters.
that's big words. Well, I don't I might have gone to Disney World when I was a kid. I which I remember, but I read up on Disneyland. It's interesting the history, and I read a book called Mouse Tales, which talked about people working there. It was good times, especially the Jungle Hunt, Jungle Cruise. I learned a lot about it.
Do you know why they made the movie Frozen?
Why?
Because people used to Google about Walt Disney and his frozen head.
Oh, so now they preempt it. So when you type in Disney's Frozen, it's the movie.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It probably is true. Like people are googling to see their Walt Disney. People used to make jokes about Walt Disney's frozen head, right? Hello, is he gone?
No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm sorry.
If you're curious to learn more about this video and stuff, there's
Yeah.
a YouTube channel called Defunct Lands that
Oh.
has a lot of interesting like documentaries and stuff.
I just got recommended a YouTube channel, Defunct Land,
Yes.
about Disney. I should check that out. Defunct Disney. Got it.
So are you still with the evil empire over here?
Yeah, you know what? This is a great time for me to. Always a pleasure to be talking to the former FCC free studios. Yeah, you can listen to me on Mutiny Radio, one of the many internet radio stations in San Francisco. That's all everyone's friends. And I'm on Sunday at 2 p.m. following Paul Brumbaugh's Edge of Insanity.
Hey, so
Although,
they're doing a comedy festival, but like you got to be a member to be in it or something. They
no,
have
no,
members. They're like a
no.
membership now, or
From what I understand, the festival is in October, but she's offering paid hosting gigs to people.
well, you gotta choose. You want to be in Comedy Day, you gotta switch to our network, son. You can't. You want to be in that other festival, but if you want to be in Comedy Day, you gotta go with us.
Oh, so the Edge sponsors an hour. God, Paul's a hustler.
No, I
Paul
think
Brumbaugh.
Paul helps book that thing or run it.
Yeah, but he's smart enough to push it with his product.
Oh yeah, you like my hat?
What's it say? Edge?
No, it's DNA. DNA's
Uh,
his
yeah,
comedy. He had like a movie theater comedy show going in Santa Cruz for a while. And when I was there, I gave him some advice. He never took it. I said, why don't you show weed movies? Why don't you let people smoke weed? You own a movie theater. Let people just smoke some bud. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And a month later, who didn't have a comedy show at a movie theater anymore? It was COVID, but I think I don't know why. Why can't we have a movie theater where you can smoke weed? Why not?
I almost did that. I won't mention it was the Balboa Movie House, and I'll leave on this.
What about the
I
Strand? Did you ever go to the Strand back in the day to watch?
Yeah.
movies?
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I have stories about the Strand. The Strand, everyone would smoke heroin off. It was an indoor place to do drugs.
Oh
And
yeah.
so one time I was there, and I said, "Fuck it, everyone is smoking heroin around me." I was young at the time. I'm gonna smoke weed, and I'm like, "Well, what about the smoke? It'll be pretty." So what I did in the movie theater is I lit up and I blew the smoke under the seats, which backfired because suddenly this plume of smoke came out of the seats above in front of me, and it was like this whoosh of smoke. And a lot of people started coughing when they saw that. They were so surprised they nearly dropped their foil. But yeah, that was the place to go indoors.
I see foil all over the place now. If It's surprising. I see people asking other people if they got foil on. I saw Dazed and Confused at the Strand.
I think
Yeah,
I did too.
yeah. We were probably in the same
Probably. Were
at
you in
the
the
same
balcony?
time. Yeah, I used to go to an open mic you used to run on Haight Street. You know.
Oh, right. Oh, the one at the Cafe International with
Yeah,
Alma?
yeah. Cafe International. That place is like the only place still going and stuff.
It's the same owner too. I saw her after 20 years. It was great. You know, one I should give a shout out to Sia Alma. Last time I was in San Francisco, her club was closed. Her shop was closed too.
Our
So
little theater.
yeah,
They,
it's done.
they raised the rent on her like to our little theater. I can't believe
It,
you did that place so much. Like,
I love that place.
of
That was a
course,
great place, and it was a hidden gem. And I don't think it got the respect it deserved. It was
hidden
really.
gem. It was like a room. My room is bigger than that. You
I
know.
know, but your room doesn't have a show.
Well, that is true. Nah, there are shows that go on in my room, but that's a different story.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it on that. How about that,
Okay.
Chris? Thank you so much. I'm
Hey,
always
let
a
us
pleasure to
know
be on
if
your show.
the next show you're on and stuff, and come and see us next time you're in town. You know, when you
I'll be
come.
there next weekend.
Oh yeah, come down.
All right. Sounds good.
See you later. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Chris. Pleasure. Bye, Junkyard fans.
That was Mike Spiegelman. Like, yeah, I still can't believe he lost all that money. You know, I would have been upset. I would have been really upset about if it was me and stuff. This is my show, Junkyard Rock. Do you want to get on or no? You don't want to get on here? Get on the mic. You seem to know a lot about. One of you's got to talk to me about the video game industry. One of you's got to get on the mic here. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
You want to grab a chair? Okay.
So you worked for Activision or?
Yeah, worked for Activision for a good couple of years, on and off. Got on 2 projects for 'em. That's my camera. All
Do you
right.
still work for Activision or?
Not anymore. Kind of had a little following out, especially during the pandemic. It was kind of nice though. First little what was those jobs where you could work from home? Oh, work from home jobs. Yeah, so we got on to a good little switch, but it wasn't really the best management from them.
So did you play Call of Duty all day long or?
Yeah, that was a lot of playing COD. So it started off with the new Modern Warfare, and how that went was kind of like a wild experience, especially at the night shift. Now we had a lot of fun during the night shift. A little bit kind of cracked out on caffeine though, but we were trying to push through those numbers, 12-hour shifts. It was pretty intense. But yeah, Call of Duty, every time look at the same rock 50 different ways.
You had to make sure that the people died quickly or?
Yeah, that too. Things weren't too buff.
Oh, let me get you. Yeah. This is Bobby Del Rosso. The Russo?
Yeah,
Like the guy from
Karate Kid,
Karate Kid.
LaRusso,
LaRusso,
Delarusso. I
all
get
right.
that so much. But yeah, got any questions? Oh, by the way, the whole Sega
Hmm.
talking about.
What's going on with this Sega? There's a lot of lawsuits with Activision.
There is a lot.
Are you involved in one of them or?
Oh, almost. A lot of HR actually. So,
Did you get contacted to be in a lawsuit?
I did. They gave me like the whole packet form and everything, and I wanted to put in something for it because military, right? I felt like I was
You were in the military?
I'm still in the military, National Guard.
Oh, okay.
So, do I have to still on the mic or?
Do you get like free weed for being in the military? Or?
I I wish, honestly. Been trying to check out a couple dispensaries
Out
nearby.
here?
out here. Yeah, I
Oh,
used
like
to be part of the cannabis, the whole green rush. Me and my dad try to go for a business out here.
oh yeah. Are you going to Mo Greens or
Hmm?
is it Mo Greens you went to?
No, so we start. Well, I'm from Texas, but I was back here 2018 with my pops.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get an investor to fall through, and we try to really hit into the medical because you know how California was with the dispensaries, especially near LA. You got them coming up, they don't like them, they shut them down with a lot of kind of regulations, making sure everything's kind of manufactured properly. And we tried getting in the medical because medical you can kind of get a lot of good backing without worrying about shutting down too much. But
Yeah, it's almost impossible to get started these days in the weed field.
it's very difficult.
Actually, I go to a sesh that all the vendors aren't licensed.
Yep, secret sessions. So that's where I started out with my pops. We went to a lot of them in the Inland Empire.
Oh
And way
yeah.
down south, there was one in San Diego. Oh, that was a fucking riot, man. Yeah, but started off at secret sessions. I think one was called Blackout Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
So people were giving out free samples. Me and my pops were making hash and growing some bud. Did our best for it, but yeah, it was difficult because our investor he kept giving us low amounts to kind of get products in, and we weren't able to manufacture enough to meet a quota or make a profit. So
So what kind of weed were you growing?
so what my pops was teaching me was indicas came from the like hash plant. He was used to making hash. He used to love and rave about Amsterdam. He used to love and rave about Afghanistan and you know, Thai sticks.
Oh yeah, I heard Afghan weed was really damn good. In fact,
And
I think that's why we went to war with Afghanistan. We try to get that weed.
yeah, I mean, we try to get a lot of resources from them, but yeah, no, those I know a lot of troops from like when they were in Afghanistan, they were trying to get that hash. That hash was really good from what I've been hearing.
Were you stationed in Afghanistan or
No, I'm too young for that war.
were you in? Did you go to Iraq or any war?
No, but I did get put into a lot of those state activations, especially with the pandemic and a lot of riots and protests near capitals. So
I,
that's
I was in LA during the LA riots, and actually they brought out the National Guard.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's scary. Like I wasn't really in for all of that, you know, being military. It's like I still have some morals. I wasn't. I was like, damn, National Guard. I thought I was gonna be clear. Nope. Sent my ass straight from basic and AIT. They're like, hey, you ready to go protect the Capitol? I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, for January 6th or
No, it wasn't. Well, I know some guys who got January 6th. I was in Minneapolis. I was with the Minnesota National Guard, so you can probably guess
what? Oh
which
yeah,
area I
yeah.
had to, yeah.
Yeah, I remember what riot that was.
Yeah.
I remember what was going on in Minnesota and stuff.
Minnesota was going crazy, then everybody else was going crazy, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And then they're sending us to DC. I luckily didn't go because I was transferring to Texas at the time, but I almost got there.
You'll be stationed out here pretty soon. Have you seen our population kicking it near the federal building next door? The building right next to us is the federal building. There's like 10,000 drug addicts kicking it down there. I'm quite sure we'll have to call the National Guard on them one day. They're gonna freak out. Ow.
National Guard be. I mean, they they'll have to pay us, but they'll usually cut the stuff out when it's like a federal order. So you got state active duty, which is like the state says, "Hey, we need our troops down here." And that's usually the call by the governor. But then you got the president call where it's federal orders, and that's some active time right there. But they're gonna cut us out before it's like 60 days because they don't want to give us those benefits.
I have a friend. He was in the Air Force and he actually got booted for drug use, but he gets a hell of a lot of free weed. There's a lot of vets groups out here
Oh yeah.
who hook people up, And I thought about joining the army and getting kicked out, just being there for like a day or so. That way I could just get all the free weed. You know what I'm saying?
You know, Jimi Hendrix was military. He was in
Y-
the army,
Yeah,
but
he used to jump out of airplanes, right?
I don't know like what he was in for. But I just know he got caught jacking off and smoking a lot of weed and just loving to play his guitar all day. Then they kicked him out, and it's like, you know what? I don't think you're really best suited for the military, so they kicked him out. And then he started popping off with his music career.
I would lie about a lot of things to get free weed. The only thing I wouldn't lie about is being in the military. Because a friend of mine, she was in the Marines and she gets hella high. She turns into a Marine sergeant, starts yelling
Oh,
at you and go crazy. And I was like, I don't want to deal with this woman. Like, she's like, I found out the guy wasn't really military. I kicked his ass. I was like, oh,
see,
damn.
if you want the military benefits without joining, just find the vets, man. They'll take care of you. Well, like as long as you're cool with them, they'll be cool with you.
Well, I expected my friend to hook me up with free stuff because they give
Yeah,
him a lot of stuff. They give him a lot of CBD and stuff. I like, what about me? What about me? Nobody gives me free CBD,
you
you
just
know?
gotta find that friend. You gotta find that network.
Yeah.
That's all it is. At the end of the day, and like you can find somebody, because I think it should be a lot more. I'm trying to find the word for it, acceptable for military people to be into cannabis. I feel like they should change that federally
I
because
think
they
so.
put us through a lot of like mental stuff, and it's like we need that to get through
Don't
our day to
ask,
day.
don't tell.
Exactly.
Don't ask, don't tell.
But I mean, like, it's not gonna stop us. They have to.
Ah,
They have to let us know when we're gonna like do a drug test. So we're just sitting there waiting.
the NFL is the same way. The players know they're gonna get tested.
Right? But it's like it's not like I'm like doing steroids or like getting hopped up on the
Yeah.
straw. I'm just trying to relax after a hard day's work.
Oh. You test positive for camel dung instead or something. You accidentally smoke camel dung thinking it's weed.
Oh, it's like that one skit from Cheech and Chong where they're smoking the dog shit because he ate his
Yeah.
hash. Yeah.
Yeah. The weed used to like smell like skunk.
Yeah.
And every time I remember on the road when we would run over a skunk, I kept thinking somebody in the freeway smoking weed. I was that dumb. I didn't realize we ran over a skunk. Nobody in the freeway is smoking weed.
Yeah. But my pops, though, he used to throw seeds off the side of the road. And then, because it would just be a wildflower at that point. He knew them spots. He go over there, trim a couple buds.
Is he
cure.
still growing weed or?
I mean, he passed, but
Oh.
I know there's a couple spots near a Walmart in Minnesota that
Walmart in
you can't
Minnesota.
put them buds down. They get
That is-
stronger by that endurance, that tundra.
Yeah, weed grows everywhere. It's like even ants grows weed. It's really weird. Even the other guy who grows weed. What's his name? Yeah.
It,
So what do you think about marrying into this family? Are you excited or
I mean, I've been very excited. 3 years of engagement, and I've just with the pandemic and everything. Like,
when's the wedding date?
when the wedding day?
What is the wedding date?
Well, are we talking the actual wedding or the courthouse wedding? Because the courthouse wedding could be somewhere between like tomorrow and like a couple days from now. But the actual wedding is when money starts coming in,
I'm talking about when Hens is in Vegas for your wedding. That's what I'm talking about.
That needs to be a little bit more planning on that. But
I got married in Las Vegas, but that was a dumb. That's
was it the drive-through wedding?
No, it wasn't drive through. I didn't think they had a drive through back in Las Vegas. You actually had to get out of your car and get married. They got drive through dispensaries in Las Vegas. You can
Yeah,
just
is it like a Burger King or like McDonald's? Yeah, can I
Yeah.
get a quarter gelato, extra cheese with that?
What kind of weed? What's your favorite strain?
Oh, I gotta go with the lemon diesel.
The lemon
The
diesel.
LSD, yeah. Lemon, what is it? LSD was lemon sour diesel. That
What
was
about mushrooms?
I love mushrooms. Shrooms have been a very good, like, awakening. I've heard all the benefits for it. I think it's the best way to really hit that kind of creative sense into an individual.
They're legalizing mushrooms now. Like in Oakland, they legalized all the psychedelics, DMT,
Mm.
mushrooms, acid, roasted peanut shells.
See, I would I would do acid, but only if it was what they were popping out since Woodstock. Like, I don't know about the new batches they're making, but I want to know what that original recipe was way back on, like,
Somebody gave me 2 slabs of acid,
mm-hmm.
and before I took it, I actually gave it to a friend of mine to try out. And I asked him the next day, how was it? He said it was really good, so I took it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, acid. I didn't realize acid is hard to find. Like the people who make acid, there's
Right?
not many people who can make it really good. Like
Exactly.
yeah,
It's like the artists of the like ye old days. It's like, where are they? Where's the books? Where's the scriptures? Gotta break it down like the Egyptian hieroglyphs, and it's like, all right, we about to cook.
I know. I don't know. I like mushrooms, but I never really realized that it was gonna become this big. I mean,
Mm,
mushrooms is like blowing the fuck up, you know?
yeah, it's gonna be the next green rush, from what I can tell. Next thing you know, it's gonna be California opening up shroom dispensaries, and they're gonna pop that in every corner.
There's actually a store in the Haight that sells mushrooms.
I know Oregon. I know like because I got a battle buddy of mine, right?
Hmm.
Lives in Oregon. He goes there visit family, and he's talking about, as you said, like how the state legalized a lot of it. They're already popping that stuff in dispensaries, but that's been good for troops.
Yeah.
Honestly, you get troops on shrooms and some cannabis. Oh, you're gonna like cure a lot of PTSD, a lot of
So did you ever feel guilty about working on Call of Duty?
it. You know what? It was the second game. So the first game was fun, Modern Warfare. Then I got to Cold War, and that's when I started working with a bunch of dickheads. And there was a couple times, uh, I felt very uncomfortable in the work environment to the point where like you had these like, how can I put this? The people who were bosses or in charge were the people who haven't really dealt with people on a level. They've always been like, you could say, the introverts.
Hmm.
So it's like you give these people power and they go a little bit crazy with it.
They're nerds, damn it.
They are
They're
nerds.
nerds.
See, it's like you can put somebody in power, but put a nerd in power, it's like they can either be really good or they're gonna want numbers to like
Right?
boost up, because they want to suck up to the company.
But did you ever feel like maybe I shouldn't be doing these war video games?
Over time, the more I kind of like get into it, it's like it was cool. It's like you're writing that kid's dream. Like, oh, I want to work for a video game company. I'm gonna test games all day and play them. It's like you get into it, you're having fun, but then you're spending like 12-hour shifts and you're getting work to the bone. Like they work you. Uh it gets daunting, and then I'm like, this doesn't feel fun anymore. I had a hard time having a relationship with video games again. I used to love playing games, but then I know how the industry works. It's not the same.
So do you recommend the video game industry as a job or
No, I really can't. Like, until they get better standards and they start treating people better, I think that's any tech company.
yeah, the tech companies are awful. I grew up in Silicon Valley. My dad was an engineer, and
Hmm.
I grew up near Apple Computers actually, and like yeah, the engineers their jobs don't last long. They get laid off a lot.
Contract work, that's how they start.
I have a friend that's always under contract. They don't give her like medical insurance, you know. You it's like you're on a and like she freaks out like every month they're laying off people like crazy. She works for Microsoft, but I'm surprised they keep hiring her because she does go on Facebook and talk a lot of junk about the people she works for. So I was like, how the hell do you keep getting jobs? I never asked her that, but I'm like, because I was kind of, you know,
I think you're on the like it's very predatory.
yeah,
Like, because contract based. They just like Activision just switched to normal employment,
Hmm.
but originally it was contract. So you don't know when you were going to get kicked off the project or if they were going to keep you. And you could be phenomenal. You could be a good worker, but then they're like, you know what? We can cut people back. It's going to be okay. We just need the main guys, and it's all favoritism. At that point, you got nerds favoriting other nerds, or you got people doing favors underneath the table, you know?
Now, if you're under contract, are you guaranteed a certain amount of money? How does that work?
So the most like they'll offer the flat like hourly rate,
Huh?
and then they'll be like, "Oh, you'll get overtime, and that's time and a half, but you're there 12 hours. That's half of your like day already. And you're doing night shift? Oh, you're just sleeping. It's just sleep, wake up, eat, go to work. Sleep, wake up, go like there's no downtime. Unless the project slows down and you're back to those 6 to 8 hour shifts. But even then, you want to make that overtime because you're thriving off of that income then.
But is it like a real contract? Do they guarantee you a certain amount of time and money, or
Mm,
do or is it just like, hey, we're gonna hire you for whatever?
yeah, it's the second one. It's like we're just gonna hire you. If anything happens, we'll cut you. And that
Okay.
you gotta like abide by those. There's also NDAs, and I think the NDA is up, obviously. But
Did
yeah,
you sign one or?
yeah, you gotta sign because you got people dropping the game early, dropping the maps, and they love to cover up with lawsuits. That's another thing.
Did you have people spying on you, trying to figure out what the new game was like, or?
A couple actually.
Oh,
There's like a couple people, who get a little bit too curious about it, but there was a lot of leaks, especially for Modern Warfare. That game was getting hyped.
people are excited about video games. It's like, it's a friend of mine once, he told me, "Oh, this new video game is coming out. You probably won't see me for a couple months." I thought that, and I'm like, "Well, let me buy it for you then, you know? That
Right.
way I'll have to see you for a couple months, you know?"
So those games though, those games, I think that probably sound like Diablo. You got people who love certain video game companies, right? For example, Destiny, that's Bungie, right? Was
Mhm.
Activision, but then they got booted because Activision was being predatory and was about to tank it. I know people who are addicted to Diablo. That's another one by Blizzard. Yeah, people will drop like hundreds of hours on that game, and they love it. They'll eat it up. You get the same kind of formula to get people addicted to it. Oh, they're gonna come back for a sequel.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, you gotta buy weapons in these things, don't you? Or
Oh, okay.
do they
So
got video games where you gotta purchase real money for a
the
weapon?
microtransactions? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a overly saturated concept right now, and they're slowly backing off because people are kind of catching on to the gimmicks.
Hmm.
But you got every sports game. You want your favorite team member? Gotta drop $10.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, it's not guaranteed. They have mystery packs. That's what's the gambling. And it's not even fair. There's even gambling chat rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. They're gonna hire people to promote like, hey, you want these these best deals because some of them will have stock value.
Mm-hmm.
There's this game, Counter-Strike Global Offense, right? CS:GO. It had a huge gambling problem just from weapon skins.
Mm-hmm.
And the weapon skins will be based off of tier and damage. Now, if you had a perfect rare, you could see that thing go for hundreds on its own market,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all random. But you had creators being like, hey, join this link. It'll get you these type of gamblings, and you're gambling your money just to try and get these skins that these people are just getting rigged to. You'll see the creators. It's like, look at that! I got this ultimate skin. It was so easy. Let alone like it's like no, it was planned. It was timed. It was all made up. It was a sketch
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yeah, a
So,
lot of kids, some of them don't realize that they're spending real money
mm-hmm.
buying stuff, and the parents get these bills like And they're like, "What the hell? What are you doing?" Like, well, I didn't realize I was spending real money in this video game.
Timmy, why is there a charge on Fortnite for $100?
Yeah.
That's what happens a lot. And
Facebook got sued over that. Like, a lot of kids were playing video games and they didn't realize their parents' credit card was connected to Facebook. So they were buying stuff. And the next thing, their parents are getting these bills for like a grand, 2 grand.
so I'm gonna tell you this, right? Places like China actually limit microtransactions.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, like, honestly, microtransactions have really put like a stain in the gaming industry because, some of them it's like just cosmetics. But what happened to just buying a game that's already made and like you can just play it out? Like that was the formula.
Yeah.
Give me a game where I don't have to pay for my favorite, like let's say like a racing game, right? You gotta pay if you want like a Ferrari collection or the like Aston Martin collection,
Mm-hmm.
You got all these cars, you love it, and it's like why am I spending it on DLC? Like if it's a DLC that's actually gonna make it fun, like a connection to the story, yeah, I can drop money on that. But if you're just letting me buy a goofy hat for $10, why? Like that's $10. I might not be interested, but little Timmy's gonna go to his mom. It's like, mom, I need it. Why do you need it? Because guess what? Parents are gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. It's like toys.
What about your kids? Are you gonna let them play video games? Or?
I mean, personally, I'm like on the fence.
I'm not
about-
saying you got kids, but
No,
maybe
no, I know.
in the future, if you do have kids, Grandpa over here is like, when I gonna get grandkids? Damn it! No.
I mean, he got grandcats, 2 cats. One's Rocky, one's Wig.
My parents went crazy when they got grandkids, so
Yeah.
and they weren't for me, so like I'm not special at all in their eyes.
Look, my sister already got like 2 kids, so I think I'm good.
There were a lot of pictures in my dad's bedroom, and there were no pictures of me. And I asked him, like, where are my pictures? He said, oh, that's not a picture of your brother. It just happens to be that the grandkids were in that picture. But the only reason your brother is up here is because I'm like, what about me?
You're still important to the family. Like that's
Yeah, I'm
like why
important.
don't shut me out.
I got a podcast. I'm important to this family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, look, it's a weird concepts with family nowadays.
I went to Dave and Buster's with my dad one time. I was playing some video game, like some and he was like, he was not happy seeing me like kill a bunch of things.
Oh, is it like the one with the little AK? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, he's like, what are you doing? He looked like, no, that's not good. I was like, I felt shame.
Why? But it's like you're having fun, and it's like I'm a whole arcade buff, right?
Yeah.
Family had an arcade, Frank's Arcade in New Jersey, right?
Oh, yeah.
So my dad talked up the arcades like a lot. But me, that is my go-to. Like you see me on Dance Dance Revolution, you see me on those was it Time Crisis, the Little Pistols, House of the Dead, those shooter games, those light shooters.
Mhm.
Those were fun as a kid. Like,
Yeah.
did you ever have the one for the Nintendo with the little blaster?
I didn't have, like, the Atari was the last system we had. I'm like 50 years old. Like, we never went past Atari. Like, my roommate had Sega and all that, but like, I don't know. I just didn't continue in the video game revolution.
You're good. What about a Guitar Hero? You ever get on that?
I tried Guitar Hero, like, but a friend of mine wasn't cooperating. She wouldn't play the instrument with me. She kind of fucked it up. Like, I was mad over that. I'm still upset over that stuff. But yeah, it's like I grew up in Silicon Valley. Like I remember Atari and all that, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like I never, yeah.
What about just like bringing it back to the arcades, coins? Like you're popping in coins. You got any,
Those were great times. Yeah.
yeah,
I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid.
right?
There was one Chuck E. Cheese they had a buffet, all the games you could play. So yeah, of course I would be on the Miss Pac-Man,
Yeah.
know. And I didn't even realize that Miss Pac-Man wasn't a real game. That it was just Pac-Man, and somebody made a computer chip and stuck it in there to create Miss Pac-Man.
Basically, the little bow on top of her head, and that's it. Like that's just
Yeah.
it. It's the same game, just different cosmetics.
Yeah, people used to create like games for these systems.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that anymore.
I mean, everything's kind of just retro, and even then, it's a cheap knockoff. You look at what was it, Grand Theft Auto, right? The first ones, they remastered it, and Rockstar got in a lot of trouble because what they did was they took the original code with all its old bugs. I'm
Mhm.
talking PlayStation, PlayStation 2, San Andreas, Vice City. I think what was the other one? I think number 2, right? They took the same code, threw it onto a new disc, and the game kept crashing and being just god awful. They didn't even work. They threw that like barely half baked.
Mhm.
But them old games like Miss Pac-Man, not Tetris, but what was Galaga, right?
Okay.
I miss those old like cabinet games.
Mhm.
They should like, they should just go back to basics a little bit, you know? And now you're an adult, they have the arcade bars, so it's kind of good.
I was at a Best Buy and they actually had a Pac-Man. I
Oh,
was
yeah,
there.
the cabinets?
Yeah, I was there like an hour playing Pac-Man at Best Buy. I was having so much fun. I'm like, these games are simple. They're fun, like, but everything got so complicated. All this money
Mm-hmm.
is like, yeah, I forgot. I had a friend that worked in one of these video game companies, and yeah, it's like after a while, you're just playing the same game over and over.
Yeah.
You're looking for glitches and stuff.
Or you got speedrunners, you know?
Yeah.
There was one game that kind of stood out this year slash last year. It was called High on Life. It was basically created by the Rick and Morty creators.
Oh yeah, Rick and Morty. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, even though it's like one of those like shooters, I thought how it had the story and the dialogue and kind of the little adventure that you go on. I thought it was kind of like a pocket of refreshment, you know?
Mhm.
Something new, something in the weirds, but something very trendy. You know, people don't put in too much thought into their art anymore, you know?
Yeah.
But you do. Like, here's the thing. You got the artists. You got the engineers, you got the devs, you got people who really are passionate about these things. But then you got the corporates, right? Corporates are going to be in like, hey, you got this deadline, push the game out.
Mhm.
It's barely halfway day or done. Cyberpunk, perfect example. CD Projekt Red. Hey, the game's not finished. Yeah, but you've been working on it for 10 years. But it's not done. We need more money. Stop giving us these unrealistic expectations. They threw that game out. People were pissed, like fully pissed. The only thing that brought it back up
Mhm.
was the anime that they had for it, and they were like working on the clock nonstop to get the game at least functional again. Because you load up, that thing was crashing. No fun in a crash game.
I got a comic book coming out. It's called Fentanyl Man. This guy, he OD'd on fentanyl, and instead of dying, he got a superpower, and now he's trying to save people who are on drugs. And it actually takes place like this whole area.
It takes inspiration. See,
I think
I like
Fentanyl
that.
Man would be a good idea.
But that's a good like art
Yeah.
style though. Like
Yeah.
you bring it close to like something realistic.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see that as much. I like that. I think that needs to be out there.
They
I
don't,
love
have, they don't have
comics.
superheroes that OD on drugs and they become a superhero. Like you never have Spider-Man smoking crack and instead of dying, he's a superhero. Like I think that would be a great superhero. Like because there are a lot of people who got problems who would probably look up to somebody like that.
He's relatable.
He's
you know?
relatable.
He's
yeah.
relatable.
I know. It's astonishing. Like, yeah, I came up with the idea, but I don't know how to create it. Like, how would I go do it? I want to get like a cartoon out there called Fentanyl Man and stuff.
You could probably go.
Fentanyl Man is gonna save you. Put
What-
down that crack pipe. Yeah.
I could probably recommend web series are popping off a lot.
Oh yeah.
So you could. So how it would go for comics, right? You go back with the old Stan Lee, Jack Kirby kind of way. You get your storyboards. You get somebody who can be the artist, draw up the concepts for you. You start making panels. You start making the storyboards. Then eventually you could throw in some animations, man. Find a couple voice actors, or you can voice act the main character, Heroin Man, and boom, you got yourself you got yourself a show.
My idea is I would just go kick it down here with all the fentanyl users, and somebody would videotape me, and then they would turn it into like animation and stuff.
Oh, like there was a
That-
movie like that.
Yeah.
What was it? It had
I would kick it with these people, and I never get offered anything. Like, people don't try and sell it to me. Like, I always feel good when these people look at me and go like, don't talk to that guy. He's not one of us. Is there a drug problem in Austin, or?
That's actually a good question. So I
Is that a
know
yes?
fentanyl has been going up. Yeah, so see, I'm on like state orders. I'm always by the border, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, you're the Mexican border, right?
Yeah.
Like El Paso. Or?
So I was in El Paso. So I've been to El Paso, and I know for a fact El Paso has its own problem, but it's because the way the networking starts,
Mhm.
there's a literal highway. You could see it branch up from the tip all the way through San Antonio, and then it goes through Austin, and then it just comes back into Juarez. So the routes are there. You can definitely see the routes, but yeah, no, the like fentanyl, it's just as bad as everywhere else.
Yeah. So how did you end up in Austin?
So, because of Activision, actually, we were kind of getting sick of the cold, and they're like, "Hey guys, just want to let you know there's a new office opening up in Austin. If you're interested, we can get people." And then, what was it? A couple months later, boom, the pandemic hit, and they're like, "Yeah, they're gonna slow down in the hiring."
Hmm?
We were already on our way down. We already our lease ended. We took our last paychecks and just made it down, on hopes and dreams. I think I started working at a Ninja Warrior gym and then a car wash, and it was hard, but we made it float.
You,
And then,
you made a car wash game?
well, I didn't make a car wash game. I was working at a car wash.
Oh, you were working a car wash. I thought you were like
No.
taking car wash game. What kind of car wash game? was
That'd be a
that?
fun game.
You were
Wax
work-
on, wax off.
So you went from Activision to the car wash? Or-
Yeah, it was kind of a downgrade, but
Did you like working at a car wash? Or?
you know what? It wasn't half bad. I personally love taking care of people's cars, being a car fanatic. I made sure I got some good tips by shining people's tires. I'd be out there. I made myself go to the supervisor, right? I went out there with a bottle of tire shine and a little scrubber, and I'd be like, "Hey, sir, you want your tire shine? I got you right here." I'll do the tires, and next thing you know, I'll clean their rims. And there's like, "Hey, that's a good job. Here's $20." I'm like,
Did you ever like pray for rain? You wanted the day off, like please rain, please rain,
oh,
so I can get the day
yeah,
off. Please rain.
a lot. Oh my god, hail one time, hail.
Oh yeah.
I used to bike to work too. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have a car. I biked to work. That was about what was it, a mile and a half?
Did you take your bike to the car wash or to wash it? or-
I wish it had those auto tracks. But I know I sprayed it down a couple times. We had some power washers and just
Do people do they videotape themselves for TikTok at the car wash?
no.
Or is anybody doing any weird stuff at a car wash?
So the other location, right? We had a pretty difficult homeless problem. So if
Uh-huh.
I worked night shifts, we had to go clear the dumpsters, right?
Yeah.
There was a specific spot where people would just kind of like mess around behind the dumpsters.
Hmm.
There was one night there was some rattling, and we could only do so much. We pop it open. You got this one dude popping like, "Ah, what you doing?" I was like, "Hey, yo, we had a car wash. Yo, get out of the dumpsters."
Yeah.
And then he was like pissed off, and he was like, "Hey, I'm not done here. I'm not done." It's like, what are you even doing? Get out.
Well, it's America. If you want to hang out at a car wash even though you don't have a car. I mean,
I
they
mean,
can't tell you not to. There's like free Wi-Fi at the car wash. So.
we had free vacuums, but we shut those off at night.
Oh, you had free vacuums too?
Yeah, you can
Oh.
do that for a lot of those car washes.
Oh, you worked in one of those. Those type of car washes.
Yeah, the automatic ones.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you pull up, and we were basically working in the main like front. We got brushes, we got bug spray, get those bugs off. Man.
Did you have difficult customers? Like, you better clean my car good.
So we did have those, but there was also those people who wouldn't listen, right? We have a sign. The sign says stop, wait, stop, and then put your car in neutral,
Huh?
foot off the brake. Like how difficult is that? It says neutral, no brake. You have people holding onto the brake, and you have these little rollers. You just see it, boom, 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 boom. We hit the stop button, the whole wash stops. People were like, hey, what's going on? I show them, like, hey, you got your car in neutral? Yeah. You got your foot off the brake? He's like, yeah. He's like, okay. Foot off the brake. It'd be a little annoying, but then the car wash would go, or on a bad day, you have somebody not listening to us and they get their tires slashed.
Oh, yeah.
So you got the little rail that pop their tires, and they're stuck on the rail for a while. We have to shut everything down. We got to pull them off. It's a drag, but
That sounds complicated. Like, you got to call AAA to get them out. Do you have like insurance in case something bad happens? Or?
I think the wash had insurance, but usually we have to fill out like an incident report, and then we have to have the cameras. So it's like, hey, this is obviously your fault for your damages. And you'd have people be like, hey, your wash made this scratch on our car. And they like to come in and kind of blame us for their stuff.
A couple weeks ago, it was like really raining where I live, and a tree fell on a Tesla. Some guy died,
Oh,
and they're trying to sue the tree.
what?
Actually, the tree's still there. It's kind of creepy. Like, they haven't got the tree's like on the ground, but like it's still there. Like, they're trying to warn us. Like, oh, watch out for the tree, damn it. Like, it's kind of scary. Like, get rid of that tree, damn it.
It's just
Get
like
rid
that
of it.
one movie, The Happening, with the bees and people are going crazy.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be a person spending his whole life being reincarnated into a tree just so he could get the drop on somebody.
There's people out there praying every day to the tree, like holding hands. Like, I guess what I heard is that they were going to Safeway to buy ice cream in a rainstorm,
It kind of just struck it.
and the tree, yeah, and the wife was in the car right next to him, and it was like he was driving and stuff, you know, and it fell on him. But like the tree's still there. It's like, get rid of that tree, damn it, you know.
That reminds me of a skit where it was like three people. He had a guy, a snake, and the tree, right? And they were talking.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was like, if I believe in I think Jesus hard enough, I will not die from this snake. And then the snake was like talking. He's like, if I believe in snake Jesus hard enough, this dude will definitely die. You go to the tree, and the tree was like, if I believe in tree Jesus hard enough, both of them will get taken out. Next thing you know, lightning strikes the tree, and it falls on the two people. And
Yeah.
he's like, yay, tree Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not really scared of a tree falling on me in a car, cause I don't have a car. So, I mean, the odds of a tree falling on my car are like what? I never was good at math, but let me try and come up with that theory and stuff. So you're into cosplay. What kind of costumes are you into?
So I like comics, video games, movies. So I try to do whatever I can like feel comfortable with. You know, I got like a arc reactor. I was gonna do like Tony Stark. That was a really good one.
Oh,
And then there's a couple anime. So the one jacket that I brought in, that was from Cyberpunk, which was based off the game.
hmm
It was actually a tabletop game, like way back.
You look like Hulk Hogan. You look like the Hulk Hogan. Oh no, you look like the not Hulk Hogan, but you look like the Incredible Hulk guy.
Oh, Bruce Banner?
You're like,
Oh, that'd be a good one too, doing Bruce Banner.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is there one costume that is there a go-to costume? Like if you go to a party, or
Oh,
is there one costume? You're like,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man for sure. I got like once in a while Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah.
People be saying I look like him, but I think that was more Tom Holland now.
I have a friend that he wears the same Halloween costume every year. It's like a breathalyzer, and he has like a thing where it says "suck on this," right? And he stopped wearing it because I kept putting my finger in the breathalyzer. I'm like, "What is this?" I kept playing with it, and he got offended. But it was his go-to costume, and I can't believe I sexually harassed one of my friends. He refuses to wear his breathalyzer costume, but.
What about you? You got any favorite or memorable Halloween costumes?
Well, yeah, one year I dressed up as a stormtrooper from Star Wars,
There we go.
but I was really upset years later because I figured out my dad didn't believe in me. He should have told me, son, you're not a stormtrooper. You're a leader. You're Darth Vader. Don't be a stormtrooper.
Don't be missing out, son.
Nah, don't be just a regular guy. Be the evil guy, huh?
Hey, I mean, but the stormtroopers were pretty cool looking.
Yeah,
Like,
the stormtroopers are pretty cool. In Vegas, I saw somebody dressed up as a transformer and stuff.
oh yeah, like the was it like Optimus or Bumblebee?
I think it was Bumblebee, but the thing about it, I didn't understand that people make these costumes.
Oh yeah.
You can't just buy a costume.
Oh,
Can you?
I mean, you with the what was it the miracle of 3D printing nowadays, right? People be making that stuff from a whole little like printer. And that's the wild part. It's like people put in so much time, so much energy to make sure these cosplays or these costumes are almost spot on to the films, you know? I've seen some like crazy Iron Man suits just from 3D printing. Or you got EVA foam. People put in a lot of work and you think, oh man, they're probably spending $1,000. Mm-mm. These Iron Man suits, you get the 3D printer and then you get all the rolls of plastic. You're looking at about 200 to 300, and you can throw in some wires, some LED lights. You got almost like a full replica right there.
So what do you think about Wanda? Do you think they should have knocked up Wanda, or what's up with that?
I was thinking like, so there was a running joke, right?
Yeah.
Of Vision, right? I think he came out with like a turtleneck and a gold chain, and people were saying, "Oh, that's not Vision, that's Vashon." And I was thinking like, I think if Wanda really loved Vision that much, and was like, can't let him go. But like, you're right though. Like, she should have just had the baby.
Yeah. See, he wanted. Was I wrong to think like this woman wants kids? Get her.
He would have solved 2 hours of film time.
I know. I'm like this other guy, Doctor Strange. His ex-girlfriend got married. I'm like, damn, you're single. You're single. Wanda wants some babies. Like,
you could have set up like a 51st date.
Yeah, am I confused here? Like, she wanted some babies. Like, why not just say, I'm just gonna get pregnant? Damn it! Why ruin this? Why ruin this damn movie? Like, and it was I was like, I don't know. It was confusing for me. Like, what does that say?
That's the premise of WandaVision.
Let me see. What did it say? I can't remember.
She said that was the premise of WandaVision. So like WandaVision was a TV show, right?
Yeah.
And
I never saw the TV show.
So she tried to have kids. Like she tried to make her own reality. So the basis was she got real sad, went to this town and basically like took it over with her magic.
Yeah.
And so she was going through the old like rom-com sitcoms, like was it I Wish a Genie or something like that, or
I Dream of Genie. I Dream of Genie.
Yeah. And then there was and then there was like the old shows like Malcolm in the Middle, and it was like going through the
the
time,
old
like,
shows Malcolm in the Middle.
well, I know, right? It wasn't that. My bad, my poor choice.
I
of
never
words.
saw that show. Like, yeah, that old show Friends. Yeah.
Oh, and then there was was it Family? Not Family Matters. Modern Family.
Modern Family. That was a weird show.
Or I Love Lucy. That was
I Love Lucy. Yeah.
So the show was going off of all those older sitcoms,
Mm-hmm.
and then finally she was envisioning her life with Vision and having kids, right? Because they had kids, and eventually, the government's like, hey, yo, there's this area that's getting blocked off. We don't like that. And then they come in, they break it all up, and then Vision's alone and sad again because, well, she's gone without her vision again. But that's what it was. She was like, she envisioned her life. She put so much energy into that. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to go crazy because I miss it. So that's why. But you're right, though. Could have ended 2 hours earlier if she would have just had them babies.
Could have adopted, right? You could have could have adopted. Could have adopted.
And plus, she's magic. Can she just,
Yeah.
she can make it.
I know. And like she decided she's gonna go take over another Wanda's life who's got kids somewhere else. Like
Right.
that's just wrong, you know. It's like, but yeah, I was confused, and it seemed like it was all depressing, you know. I mean, Doctor Strange. It's like, what the hell is going on with these people? Like, why is Marvel so depressing? They don't believe in love and marriage and happiness. What is it? Why these people never end up happy? You know?
I mean, they were close to it.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain America? What about Captain America?
Oh yeah. But Captain America,
I
He's-
mean,
I don't know what.
but what did happen? But then you look at Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the story of that, and it's like, honestly, I love Falcon. Falcon being Cap, I love that idea. Honestly, he makes with his whole suit and being able to float and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he beat the brakes off the U.S. agent, man.
You know,
Oh,
I wasn't surprised that Jeremy Renner got injured because he made a movie a bunch of years ago about a journalist
Mm-hmm.
from the San Jose Mercury News who basically he was the guy who came out and talked about how the government was involved in the Iran Contra deal, right?
The what deal?
Iran Contra, the government
Mm.
back in the Reagan administration, the government was basically selling cocaine to buy weapons to give it to the.
Yeah.
And he made this guy, the journalist, they went after him. He ended up dying, but he made this movie about this guy. And years later, I wasn't surprised that. I mean, they almost took him out because
They
of that
almost.
because of that movie. Damn it, because of that movie. And it's not even a famous movie. You probably never even heard about this journalist.
So I haven't heard of the movie, but I know for a fact I've recently heard about them events
Yeah.
because they were. I think there was also some risky dealings, but yeah, as you said, they were paying off. They were kind of trading up. So they had cocaine coming from I think South America, and they were
Yeah.
trading it up for some weapons, and they were kind of. It was like cash flow, you know. It was like coke for guns, guns for money, and it was like a cycling thing. And then they were like, "Hey, we have enough, we have enough weapons to be our own little military."
Yeah.
And they're like, "We don't need you no more." And then the government's like, "Deal's done." They
Yeah.
pulled out quick on that.
I don't know. Is there a movie you're excited about that's coming out? Or
Oh,
is there a movie you're looking forward to? Or?
I saw a trailer, right? Because I went to go see that Dungeons and Dragon movie. That was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a fun movie and stuff. Yeah.
What was it? It was. I know there's the new Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse, I'm really excited for when that comes out soon. I think July.
Mm-hmm.
That one's gonna be amazing. I'm back. Anyway, yeah, Spider-Verse. I love the first one. I love the cinematography for it, especially how they animate because that's being a big influence this day and age. There's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out.
Oh yeah, Seth Rogen directed that thing, right?
Yeah, I was shocked that Seth was getting involved in that.
Yeah.
But what was it? They have a lot of huge stars. I think Jack Black's gonna be in that one too.
Yeah.
But seeing Jack Black getting a lot of voice acting roles is kind of a heartwarming feeling, you know? That guy was my idol.
He's in the Mandalorian, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. With Lizzo.
Yeah.
So you got Jack Black and
People
Mario.
are upset over that. I was like, people get upset over that. You know, I grew up on Star Wars, and all that. It's yeah, I didn't like when Disney bought Star Wars at all. I was really unhappy. But now it's You know, why not just create shitty content for Star Wars like anything else? There's not, there's nothing really sacred anymore. You know, it's like,
Well, yeah, that's just the concept of writing off the whole nostalgia train, you know?
yeah,
That's the only thing. People were like, oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember this. But where's the new stuff?
yeah.
You know, people are too afraid to be new. People are too afraid to go explore into those depths again.
Now the actor in The Mandalorian, he's Chilean, right? And I'm from Chile, and people,
Oh, Pedro Pascal?
yeah, people are like, well, he's Chilean. Why can't you make it in Hollywood like he made it? What about you? You know? Well, there's only room for one. Damn it! I gotta wait for that guy's movie to start failing for me to get a career and stuff. Yeah,
You can do it.
he was in the movie with Nick Cage. That was a good movie, the Nick Cage one.
Yeah, the one that's now a huge meme going off where was it the song's going, he's in the car, he's smiling like, hey. But yeah, Pedro Pascal is popping off with The Last of Us, Game of Thrones, and a lot of like the movie you just mentioned, right?
Yeah,
So he's getting a lot of traction, and people are like just loving his face, loving his vibe.
yeah.
They're almost stalking him like
But-
they got his Starbucks order.
But nobody's like, we got to get more Chilean actors in here. You know what I mean? Well, this guy's good. We got to get more Chilean actors. What about me? Like, what is it about me? Damn it!
You gotta look. Honestly, I think I would love to see some like a movie with you. I think you could fit somewhere. You can always fit anywhere.
I know.
You just gotta fentanyl man. Yeah, right there.
Oh.
Boom, $1 million idea.
I'm gonna knock up Wanda.
There we go. Do a couple parodies, spoofs.
I'm gonna take Wanda and put her in the sequel to A Fish Called Wanda, and I'm gonna knock her out. But I didn't realize she was trying to have babies in the TV show because I was like, this is weird. Like, it was confusing. Like, you know, they expect me to. Somebody's got to give me a free Disney pass or Disney Plus pass. Disney Plus never has any free weeks, you know.
Yeah.
Like I can catch up on HBO or even I was watching the new MGM Plus with the Godfather of Harlem but Disney never has any free weeks. They force you to buy that. I'm like, I'm not buying shit from Disney, you know, because you know Disney used to own my favorite baseball team, the Angels.
No way.
Yeah, Disney owned the Anaheim. They were the California Angels, the Anaheim Angels. And actually, they owned them when they won the World Series. So, but I never forgave them for selling that team right after that. You know?
They sold him?
Yeah, they sold them.
Who
yeah.
they sell him to?
The current owner, Arte Moreno. He's a good owner. He pays a lot of money. But yeah, it's been fun. So, what are you looking forward to in San Francisco? What are you looking forward to do out here except hang out with a bunch of fentanyl users? Go tell your friends not to come here.
You know, it's funny. We asked some people online. It's like, hey, we in California. Like, what do you think we can expect? And somebody put that in the comments like meth, and I was like, what? Meth, fentanyl? No, I'm excited to just, you know, learn this or experience like new family. You know, kind of go to my old stomping grounds. I was in Rancho a couple days ago, so that's where I used to work out of for the cannabis. But I'm gonna go back to Calabasas and see if I can.
Calabasas.
Yeah, I had an old home in Calabasas. I'm gonna
Oh, no doubt.
check some childhood memories.
Were you like rich back in the day?
No,
Calabasas is like a rich city, isn't it?
it was
Okay, well, thank you for being on. What's your name again?
Bobby.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna invite me to the wedding and stuff, or?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll be the best man. No. What's your name again? I can't. Let me put on my glasses here, man. In case. Are you gonna sue anybody, Activision? I need some money.
I mean, if they're still going with the lawsuit, I'd look into something.
Bobby. That's to Bobby Russo. Dello Russo.
The one and only.
That sounds like a winery or something. No. Thank you. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me, man.
And stay away from the drug addicts. What was this song for?